Sorry for the noise in the background, so I'm gonna go ahead and watch this. Anyways, here we go. What you're about to see is full of cringe and craziness that I can't believe I watched this. Apparently, I watched this on Harmful Opinions and decided to get into this mess from a VTuber who, well, let's put it this way, has some issues. So, I'm going to go ahead and play the video as soon as possible. And I'm sorry for the background noise. It's kind of complicated here. I live in an apartment. I'm just washing dishes and everything in a dishwashing machine. So, anyways, let's go ahead and begin this down the rabbit hole of this video. It's titled, as you can see right here, it's by a VTuber known as Datadyne Executive. That's a reference to a video game that everyone knows. It's from N64's GoldenEye, if you're wondering. So, let's go ahead and get into this video.
Pause here. I just want to say a few things before we actually get started with the video. First of all, forgive the Camtasia watermark because I'm using the newest iteration of Camtasia, which I haven't bought yet, and I couldn't use my older iteration because that no longer supports sign-in, and that's the version I owned, which was on my older computer, which I had to sell off in order to pay off some stuff.
Okay.
Secondly, I guess there's going to be a random cut in the middle of the recording because I got interrupted. Because, of course, living on my own doesn't make me immune to interruptions. Yeah. So there's going to be just a random cut because of that. So I just wanted to explain that.
Okay.
So, yeah. With that being said, let's get on with the video, shall we?
Get to the point. So he has like the TechSmith.
Okay, greetings YouTube. Okay.
Whatever he's using, I would say he probably doesn't know about other free software trials. But I guess if he's using like an iPad or something, or a computer, I think he's probably getting ripped off. I don't blame him. It's kind of the territory of being a VTuber. So hopefully he gets that fixed. Because this TechSmith thing is kind of crazy. Yeah, it gets a little bit annoying in the face right there. As you can see, TechSmith, made with Camtasia, free trial.
Kinda didn't want to post a video like this, but it's gotten to the point where I absolutely have to respond.
Okay.
Because some of the shit that's been said is pretty ridiculous. Especially...
Yes, because this guy is going to say some things that's not going to be very nice. So bear with me, guys. What he's about to say is going to hurt some ears or possibly make some people upset. So here we go. So take a deep breath, guys. Take a deep breath. Because this will go down deep down the rabbit hole of craziness.
From those in the alphabet fucking mafia. You know the types that I oppose on a regular basis. Especially on places like Twitter. Yes, you hear me right. On fucking Twitter. The unhinged Looney Tunes who actually believe that men can be women. And, I'm not kidding, they actually think men belong in biological women's spaces. It's sickening.
Okay. The whole eyeball thing, I noticed that he's been having issues with his camera. I think that's kind of the problem with his VTuber thing. He's using a squid avatar and the Miiverse coat, which comes from Nintendo. I have a feeling Nintendo is going to come in and try to say, get off that VTuber model immediately. Hopefully he gets a new VTuber model. I hope so. Let's begin.
It's absolutely fucking disgusting. And the worst part about this is they know full fucking well they are doing everything they can to erode any differences between male and female and trying to make, oh, I identify as therefore I am. Okay, you can play that game. You can have that delusion. I identify as a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. Does that mean I'm that? No. No, the fuck it does
Oh my
not.
god.
So why would I accept a biological man as a woman?
Okay.
Seriously.
Why?
Think about that for 2 seconds. We're at the point where biological men aren't even trying to hide the fact that they're men anymore.
Okay.
I mean, we've had quite a few
He's having some
YouTubers
frame rate issues
covering
here.
that Planet Fitness controversy, so I don't think I really need to weigh much in on that.
Yeah, for context, there was a situation with Planet Fitness where a man went into a woman's bathroom in Planet Fitness and claimed to be a woman. That's what happened. And let's just say a lot of women were not feeling comfortable. And, of course, Planet Fitness doubled down on that whole situation, which was a little bit of a situation to where people were not happy and both sides could not come to an agreement on this whole issue about whether or not this woman went into the women's bathroom was a real woman. It was a man with a beard, and therefore they kind of felt uncomfortable with this woman with a beard. It kind of turned into a bad situation. I can only tell you that that's from what I heard from people that told me this. So bear with me in mind. I apologize if I said some things that are inappropriate or offensive, but that's what happened. That's what I heard.
The synopsis is a man went into the locker room of, the opposite gender, one that he should not be in. Just doing his thing, shaving and shit like that. Of course, this is ignoring the fact that we have minors in there as well, who should not be exposed to this kind of shit. But my stance on this has been intentionally conflated with the "We Are with Chuggaaconroy" movement. Or in my case,
movement. Oh God, no! The Chuggaaconroy movement. And how did Chuggaaconroy get involved in this? I don't know. Let me look this up. I gotta look this up about Chuggaaconroy. I gotta look this up on who the heck is Chuggaaconroy. I don't know who he is, but I'll look him up. Chuggaaconroy. Let me look at my phone here. This guy. All right, Chuggaaconroy. Who is this guy? Okay, so also known as known online as alias Chuggaaconroy, was shown an American YouTuber personality Let's Play. Oh, so he's a Let's Play guy who's known in the community for Nintendo games and such. He's from Phoenix, Arizona, and he's currently in Atlanta. Okay, so he's in Atlanta, Georgia. I lived there. I used to live in Atlanta, Georgia before. Let's see. Guy collaborates with Let's Tube. So what was going on with him? The Chuggaaconroy controversy. Let me see. Let me look him up. Is Chuggaaconroy Mexican? No. I don't know what's with these people. Okay, so Chuggaaconroy. Let me look him up here. What was the issue with Chuggaaconroy movement? What did he do? Chuggaaconroy. All right, let's look him up. I'm trying to look him up here. This is just cringe here. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to look into the Chuggaaconroy thing. No, I'm just gonna. Okay, no, it's not that. Okay, let me see. Okay, so this is what happened to him. Okay, in context of what was going on, the whole you were never male, you were always you. Okay, so that's kind of what Conroy said. The Chuggaaconroy. Okay, so that's what happened. Okay, so he said that. Okay, the Chuggaaconroy misconduct allegations. Okay, so runaway guy going into. Okay, so what happened to him on April 2024 and 22? Okay, so I'm not very familiar. I apologize, guys, but okay, so he made a full response to allegations in which revealed that he did have malicious intent, that he and Massa dated for 10 years and were engaged prior to having a rough breakup. Emmy never communicated with him, and he never said anything, and made her uncomfortable. Lala's goal was to manipulate him into having sex with her, and that he had no intention of doing anything with her. However, Emily has acknowledged that he did wrong and wants to improve. The whole experience was okay. So, he and Lawless. Okay, conversation aimed at conversation. Wow, really? Wow, this is some crazy ass drama. Wow. Yeah, her and had a situation. So the chat lies manipulated into having sex with her, and that she sent sexually explicit gifts to his house. That's what happened to Chuggaaconroy. So his full statement was that Lolly's goal with the 2010 chat log was to manipulate him into having sex with her. That's the ultimate Chad guy. Chuggaaconroy wasn't interested. Oh boy, I'm sorry, guys. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and continue. This is down the rabbit hole of this controversy about Chuggaaconroy. I am not familiar with Chuggaaconroy, so let's continue.
We stand with Chuggaaconroy. There was an entire document about this, but I'm only going to be responding to that which I mentioned, because honestly, my opposition to this disgusting cult has nothing to do with the movement whatsoever, and has been done. Well, it's been conflated in order to muddy the water. The document will be in the description, but just know I'm only going to be responding to that which I mentioned in. Because honestly, there was someone else has been mentioned in it. I'm not going to mention it in this video, but it is mentioned in the docs, so keep that in mind. I'm only going to say this briefly. The enemy of my enemy is not my friend, but let's ignore that. Speaking of morality, there's someone who, nameless, chose to be with since the beginning of January. And of course, there are screenshots showing my posts or comments. Getting personal help doesn't dissolve his innocence, which it doesn't.
Continue.
There's also the comment and I guess reposting of my petition, which is at 181 signatures. Hooray! But this is where things get a bit dirty. My comment to reply. this is relevant. How?
Uh-huh.
The context of that was cut deliberately, as this was in response to a link about President Biden. I asked how that is relevant to the movement. Of course, I got nothing in response. Because it's not relevant in any way, shape, or form. Neither is my own personal politics.
Okay.
Which, of course, is America first, American first values, traditional family values, those kinds of things.
What does this have to do with Chuggaaconroy?
Another out of context quote is, this is in reference to mob mentality, like harassing others for hours on end and even throughout the months. And thus I say this. That's how the mob operates. Which, of course, it's obvious.
Alright, so what does this have to do with Chuggaaconroy? Now he's freezing up on that one.
Here's where the part where I'm referred to as a phobe.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, he's playing music in the background. I might get
your money where your mouth is.
copyright. I don't care.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just doing this for the content.
But here's the post that I made. And this is from Libs of TikTok. If you call this person a man in Scotland, you will be arrested. Also, until this comes to America. And I said, it's only a matter of time of. It's only a matter of when unless we stop it.
Okay.
I say that as it is absolutely disgusting to jail someone for using their own judgment.
Okay.
It's a man with makeup wearing earrings. Calling that a man is a gross, absolutely fucking gross.
Okay. It's absolutely gross.
Of free speech. Not only.
It's absolutely gross. Alright, let's continue on this one. Well, I do agree with some of his talking points, but as far as I know, let's continue on. Some things I'll agree with, some things I'm just disagreeing with him on. American first! American first!
That, but you are forcing someone to judge you a certain way. That is not acceptable. I don't want to hear any excuses. There is no justification to force someone to judge you a certain way. That is why I shared the post and said what I said. It's irritating to say the fucking least. Our this fucking neck deep in authoritarianism, and fuck all's done about it.
Okay.
There's also the LGBT Alliance, who has nothing to do with the rest of the alphabet soup.
Okay.
Which, that's fine. A movement who wants to separate themselves from a cult-like fucking mafia.
Okay.
I support that.
Oh, he's making references to that.
Also,
oh yeah, I heard about this. This is like the LBGT. They were separating from the T because they got fed up with the T, which was the trans community. Because the LBGTQ kind of was in a kind of situation. The lesbians kind of rebelled against the trans, and the trans kind of went off the deep end, going too far, because I can understand that there was a situation to where they had to call the lesbians TERFs because of the TERF movement, but really, from what I heard from people from the lesbian side, because I talked to some of them, they explained to me the dating issue is that they don't feel comfortable around trans people for a lot of different reasons. Yeah, they can talk and associate, but the problem was they just didn't feel comfortable around them, especially drinking with them, because there were rumors, and not really rumors, but there were cases to where lesbians were forced or coerced into sleeping with trans women, and they didn't feel comfortable sleeping with trans women, which I can understand the issue, because it's not because of appearance or anything like that. It's more it's more of a, they think they, yes, it is true that they are, but they just don't feel comfortable sleeping with trans women in particular. If you get what I'm saying, I'm not trying to be mean to trans people, but that's what I heard from the lesbian side. They just don't feel comfortable sleeping with trans women, because there is some love and hate in the situation between both sides, and it becomes a situation to where the LBGQ had to separate the trans, because the trans had been an issue for a while, because of the issue with them is that they kind of abused their power over in the dating scene. It was kind of a power dynamic situation. If you don't get what I'm saying about this, I apologize.
This post, which is shared as an image, LGBT without the TQ. Accept yourself as you are. Your same-sex attraction is not a choice. Sexuality is about sex.
Okay.
All that is true. A TQ plus is hate yourself and change your body.
He's really trying to get all those tracks from that video games, and now he's freezing up on this one.
That's not very body positive. As an FYI. Your same-sex attraction is a genital preference.
If you can't handle that, then you're the problem. That's right. I'm gonna tell you that.
How is that wrong? Sexuality is a spectrum, but you know it is not. There are 3 sexualities. Straight, I say heterosexual, homosexual, and bisexual. And even bisexuals pick one at the end of the day. And that choice is usually made post-puberty. Yes, you heard me right, post-puberty. And that choice is usually made with consent. Like, these fucking creeps, these fucking predators don't believe in. Hell, I've seen people straight up say, oh, you're transphobic if you won't date me. Fuck you, motherfucker. No one is afraid of you because they don't want to date you. No one is fucking phobic because they refuse to affirm you. The thing with tolerance and acceptance is they are people to leave them alone. Like, all well and good. But that goes completely out the fucking window when you push them to affirm you at every goddamn opportunity. Every goddamn...
Yeah, because it's kind of like you wanted people to leave you alone, but you push them away, which kind of gets into the dating scene, which is kind of true.
Fucking second. That message goes completely out the fucking window. It's more shit like this is why I'm posing alphabet goddamn fucking mafia. Fuck you if you're in favor of this cult.
Okay, I get what he's saying here, because the thing is, it's like, alright, because I heard this from a lot of people in the LGBTQ, and it's like, even the trans side, like, they get shitted on by lesbians, and it's also the fact that the lesbians get shitted on by the trans, and this is becoming an internal situation within that community. And that community tends to be a little bit forceful on issues that kind of turns into a situation to where it involves the straights now. And the straights don't want anything to do with this stuff, and yeah, because it's all that stuff that they're doing. I hate to say it, both sides are in the wrong. And I whenever I hear both sides of the argument, I kind of agree with one thing, that they should, if you guys can't, get along with each other, then you guys are doomed. Both lesbian and trans are doomed, especially the gays. Like, the gays couldn't stand the trans either. And this is becoming a situation to where it becomes an internal fight within that community, and that community tends to have a problem with the dating scene, and the dating scene is a bigger issue there. And not many people in the LGBTQ can, if I can say it correctly, can't address this issue very well. And I've been hearing this from all sides of the community, because it's a very big issue that should be addressed by the LGBTQ, but the problem is the LGBTQ don't want this to be known, because they act like this is not an issue, but it is an issue because of the fact that there are trans people that feel so lonely that they have this problem in the dating scene, that the dating pool's low for them, that they can't gain any access to individuals that would date them. The other issue is that there is a big problem, especially with that community, because that community tends to have, like, I hate to say it, incels in that community. I'm not joking. Like, if you compare the incels in that post on our incel, which is no longer around, you could hear the same complaints from the trans community on Twitter that talk about they can't get any dates, that people are being transphobic. And you compare it to the guys that are incels, they sound like incels. I'm not joking.
God! But this gets even worse going further into it. Oh yeah, we haven't even gotten to the nitty gritty.
The nitty gritty.
They're brainwashed enough to be quote-unquote trans, believe anything said about so-called gender experts, believe the propaganda that changes by the month. It does change by the month all the fucking time, so it's not even consistent.
Okay.
Detransitioners and any reports of extreme danger of transitioning. Detransitioners are often swept under the rug and outright censored. They aren't even fucking heard.
It's the whole detransitioning thing. I did see some YouTube videos on detransitioners that kind of were like, you know what, this is a fad. I feel like, and I understand how some of them feel. Like, they kind of felt like, okay, they had to go back to their original gender because they didn't feel like happy about themselves. And there are some that have issues. They still do have issues, and that's because of their self-esteem, and everything that they worked hard at turned into shit for them. And I can understand a lot of them who detransition are still, trying to go back to their original gender, because it is hard for them. It is very hard for them to deal with. And I seen a lot of people who talk about themselves, they still struggle from the effects of detransitioning back to their normal selves, trying to, try to work on trying to be themselves, which is what a lot of people are trying to help them with. Even there's some people that try to help them, because from my understanding of it is like they have to get off the hormones, they have to go back to their normal selves. or use hormones to come back to their normal space of mind. Because detransitioning is not easy. It is a struggle, especially for trans people. It is a struggle for them to transition because the medication and everything is very much can cause a little bit of side effects like mood swings and such.
But it gets even worse going further into it. This is an image of a grown man.
Okay.
Let me just make that perfectly clear.
A grown
man, mind you, dressing as a baby in a crib. With what flag on the wall? How is that not disgusting? How is that not fucked up?
I don't know. I don't see the image.
Answer that. A adult dressing as a fucking baby.
An adult dressing like a
This
fucking
cult
baby.
makes me so angry.
It makes
I
me
swear to
angry.
fucking God.
I swear to God, this is not cool. I'm gonna go get some.
But
I'm gonna get a gun and kill myself.
I believe that was
Sorry.
the second worst thing in this document. I reposted a post where like a flag and the image is call me silly, but sticking your penis in another man's butthole does not merit a special flag or a month-long celebration. And the caption was, veterans only get 1 day.
This guy is very straightforward. Even though, yeah, autists are very straightforward about what they have to say about this stuff. But yeah, this is very straightforward. What he says. In the butthole.
And even on that day, they get villainized. It goes on. And, this is also completely irrelevant.
Yeah, again, this guy is off the camera. He's literally off the camera on this one. I can see why. Like, his frame rate is kind of... Either he's using an iPad or something. I don't know. He's probably using a phone. You can tell that the processing, either it's the internet, because if he's using that one program that I think he's using, he's probably using two phones to process the whole thing. So let's continue.
It's a post I shared where whites are constantly being demonized.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we are constant racist against white people. The post is this.
Okay, so he's basically saying that the post that he mentioned right here,
That we're constantly racist towards white people.
so let's continue this.
Whites did not invent slavery. Whites ended slavery. No guilt, no apologies. In other words, don't feel guilty about being fucking white. That was the point of the post. That is
Okay.
why I shared.
Okay. Fair enough.
And no, I'm not gonna be ashamed I shared that.
Fair enough. I can understand.
I mean, fuck. I want to bring up one thing that's especially important here.
Mm-hmm.
Lives matter. If you need a color from those two words, you're a racist. Which applies to this post right here.
Okay. You know this
And that's
like
about-
he's like
all that was
Closing
shared
his
on
eyes
the
every
document
time.
itself. It'll be in the low bar just so that you know I'm not talking out of my
swear.
ass or anything like that.
I swear, this is
But this pisses me off beyond belief.
okay.
It pisses me off. We're constantly making excuses for the Alphabet Mafia to constantly fuck with their daily lives, force uncomfortable shit on us,
Yeah.
and everything else in between.
There's some things I'll agree with him, and there's some things I'll disagree with him. And yeah, like people's lives are being fucked with. Don't play around. If you do, 4chan's gonna follow through with their plans to take over. I'm sorry. Like, don't fuck around with people's lives, because eventually it will come back to you. I know. I seen it happen.
But I refuse to stand down or back down from my stances. It goes against this message right here. Stand up for what you believe in.
God is with you. Stand up to what you believe in, even if it means standing alone. Carthelian 16:13. Okay. Yeah, that's in the Bible.
Even if it means standing alone.
Yeah, and I know there's some people that are like not Christian and that are atheists, and I personally I don't have a problem with people putting up these things, because they can put those messages up and it's free speech.
The Alphabet Mafia is a greater enemy than anybody I've talked about during the Chuggaaconroy situation.
The Chuggaaconroy.
They have a vapid interest in wrecking our culture, destroying our country as it is.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, like, are they trying to destroy Chuggaaconroy or something? I don't know what's going on here, because it's like this whole rant that he's doing. Like, I'm trying to look up this whole Chuggaaconroy controversy, and the thing that I found out, like, I don't know, like, is he? All I see right here is that Chuggaaconroy, all he did was date some chicks, and it got to this situation with Proton John. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, the situation with him at MagFest with Lady Emily. Like, I don't know. Like, he paid. Like, I heard about this, the accusations about the feet fetish thing, but it's like, what does this have to do with Chuggaaconroy? What was the issue with him about transphobia and everything? Like, is he being accused of being a tranny chaser? I don't know. Like, this whole thing goes deep down the rabbit hole, which I thought was just crazy. So I'll link this video, but I'm gonna have to continue on.
And it's because of this cult, less people are having families. Especially on the grounds that not only are kids being groomed into this because they are impressionable beings, but owing to the fact that so many more people who otherwise would not be infertile are becoming infertile.
Okay. I'm just going to point out to you, this guy believes that there is a sex cult, and I do believe in this sex cult existing, because they have been doing a lot of damage on the internet, and I do believe that this cult also harassed a Christian singer. I'm not joking. There was a Christian singer that got harassed online for basically singing in a flannel t-shirt and jeans, and they all assumed she was a lesbian. And this sex cult happened to go around on TikTok believing that she is a lesbian. And they went into this whole conspiracy of trying to separate her husband and her, and also harassing the husband. I'm not joking. This was and of course people doing this whole "I can fix her" thing was kind of creepy. Yes, there is a sex cult, a dangerous sex cult that definitely does exist, and I'm not joking. They do exist,
and thus cannot have kids. And it's creating so much fucking confusion throughout the country where, who do I even go to for the sake of having a family? It's gross.
I don't know. You could become a passport bro and get out of the country and go find yourself a woman. I'm sorry, yeah, but there are guys that are passport bros that do go to other countries and find other women. I was thinking about doing it, but I'm just like, I don't really feel that if I feel like I could vibe with a woman like that in another country, I might. But that depends on me and how I feel about that woman. I don't really know if I really would. I would get to know her. There are women out there that I would try to get to know, and sometimes if I don't vibe with them, it just depends on how I feel with them. Because sometimes I know there are women that can be very cruel that don't know me, and they could just be looking at me like I'm the bad guy. Like, I seen a lot of them. Like, they get some stern looks on me thinking I'm like this rude, crude guy, and they don't like me. And I get it, and I just leave them alone, and I leave them be. I don't try to, like, there are some that are just god-awful. And they are very cruel and vindictive that they just get upset with me for no reason. And that's why I just don't, date. I don't talk to people. And that's kind of my problem.
Absolutely gross. Ah. I apologize for all the yelling I did in this video. But still, this shit drives me off the fucking wall.
Okay, I can understand. I can understand why this pisses them off a little bit. But the whole Chuggaaconroy thing, I don't get what was going on with that. Personally, there was a lot of accusations against Chuggaaconroy, and I'm looking at some of the stuff like the Chuggaaconroy movement. I don't think he's a transphobe or anything like that, but okay, we'll go into that whole situation. But I do get some of his talking points, but the thing is, like, it just goes deep down the rabbit hole of what he was saying, and I had to recall some of the stuff, even though I'm not really good at all this information that he's presenting, especially his rant. I would say, like, if you can't really, I would say this: if your audience doesn't know what you're talking about, hell, a lot of people don't even know what I'm talking about all the time, because I blab a lot of stuff, and especially when I encountered a lot of people that don't know what I'm talking about, especially with my content and everything. I had a lot of people that come online that tend to like my gaming content or my other content, but I tend to do things differently because I just don't know what audience I attract. And sometimes I tend to attract, like, kids that need help with video games, kids that need help with a lot of stuff, or they feel lonely. And I can understand a lot of them feel lonely, and they can't find a gaming community they could feel welcome in. I would tell them, like, there's some gaming forums that you can go to, like Geeks and Gamers. You can go to them. You can go to You can go to there's several gaming forums that you can go to. Just don't go to 4chan, please. Or if you want to go to 4chan, go ahead and go to 4chan. But be careful, kids. It's dangerous there. There's other places you can go to. If there's a gaming forum for you, there's a gaming forum. You could try GameFAQs. That's another website you can go to, and you can ask questions there and see if people can help you out with games, or you can partner up with games up there. Anyways, let me go ahead and continue this video.
And calling someone phobic for opposing this cult is not going to get anybody on your side. If anything, it's going to create more well-deserved enemies. Ugh. Thank you for listening to everything I had to say. Again, the document will be in the low bar, so you can judge for yourself, and I'll see you next.
Alright, let me go ahead and look at this document that he brought up. I think his document got banned. Okay, so the document the author uses a pageless format. Got it. So, the harassment and hate speech hands of Astral Alchemist and her community. I firmly accuse Astral Alchemist of citing harassment against me by her community. This is because they perceive me as the enemy in the campaign to spin Chuggaaconroy as purely innocent in the recent allegations against him. Before I start, there is a repeated mentions of Astral Alchemist and other calling Lady Emily a liar in relations to Chuggaaconroy's situation. I want to remind everyone Chugga himself still stands by his previous apology from January and takes responsibility for what he has done. Okay, fair enough. I can understand. None of anything else was stated enough justifying the smear campaign against Lady Emily. Anyone engaging in rhetoric actively attacking Lady Emily is doing so against wishes of everyone involved. In reference to in this section, his recent statement stating that he recognizes his behavior was harmful to Lady Emily. I don't retract any apology about hurting her or pestering her for a reply. Nothing I said changes that I did that. I felt this is important. Context was left out. This is what I was working with and why I was so comfortable doing this. Okay. I kept asking if it was okay and kept doing it because she said she enjoyed it. I wanted to open with someone I cared rather than just assuming she gave my word, and I wouldn't go into sexual territory for myself. Still wasn't a good way to act. I hope it's understandable how I could think of this way. So this is what Astral Alchemist is one of Chugga's biggest defenders in the We Chuggaaconroy movement, being the leader of the movement as well as those who spearheaded it. I began a rhetoric such as the following after Lady Emily's first statement of Chuggaaconroy's first apology. Okay, so to the morons not doing their research, telling me being neurodiverse is an excuse. No, but Emily is an innocent. This is Emil. This is how you pronounce it. I apologize for mispronouncing it. It's Emil. Is an innocent man who happens to be autistic spectrum. Women can make false accusations. Men can be innocent defending the right person. So the guy had a foot fetish. Didn't want a relationship with her. He just basically gave her shoes. Like she paid him in shoes. We are with Chuggaaconroy. This is like I recalled this controversy, and it went deep down the rabbit hole of craziness. Chug took responsibility for what happened. She contorted it as the internet bullying neurodiverse person into an apologies. Let us note that she, at the time, was fully on board in supporting those sent her vitriol directly to Lady Emily. So your trust caused you didn't see the boundary after seeing your fire with her talk. So we are Chuggaaconroy. So just as this, puh, you can't defend yourself. You just block. Pathetic. I never, I never ED'd her, so she must have been triggered by my defense of Emil calling out her BS. We are Chuggaaconroy. Hashtag we are Chuggaaconroy. I know this is like deep down the rabbit hole of craziness. Bedtime again. As Chugga said, please don't attack Emily. Call her out. Yes, but do it civilly. No ad hominems, trolling, etc. Being the same for her followers. Don't be hypocrites. Chugga had been very mature. Let me be an example. Let's honor him. Hashtag we are Chuggaaconroy. God, man, this is crazy. Okay, here's the my situation. To begin with, she posted a thread about condemning harassment, how constantly calling out somebody for their mistakes, etc. Still harassment. What? Constantly calling someone out for their mistakes is harassment. Constantly engages in calling the Lady Emily a frequent liar. Another argument I keep seeing, holding someone accountable. Okay, so I don't encourage harassment, but you've never asked your followers to stop. All you're doing is proving that you're doing this for attention, not as a victim. It's pathetic. Stop trying to ruin people's lives. We all know you. Okay, so is he gaslighting people? That's the question. Put it simply, in her post, likes where she tries to honor Chugga's example. Okay, here. But he made sure it was for fun. Yeah, but you lied. Okay, can you prove that? He asked for pics once, which she obliged to. See the gifts he gave her. But, okay, but it was clearly meant as harassment. I'm actually seeing the conversation like this, and I'm sorry, but what? If they can believe he can lie, why is it so hard for them to believe that she can lie? Okay. Okay, this is kind of like the stuff that... Okay. I read M. Meals' statement, and great shit. You owe the man an apology, not some fake-ass YouTuber apology. A legitimate apology, because your entire campaign was to disprove in more context. You're lucky. This is like deep down the rabbit hole of craziness. God, this is so crazy. We are with Chuggaaconroy. It's like, this is some fun. Finally, she supported the belief that anyone who ever had an opinion contrary to hers and her followers is stupid, because they dared to believe in the words of Lady Emily and anyone else that spoke up. These are blatant examples of hate speech against Lady Emily and encourage harass. Okay, so towards Lady Emily simply because she wants to defend Chugga. And it wasn't until hours later she finally gave a response via quote. This is so crazy. Like, I'll link this, guys, for you to check out. I'll even link the video and everything, because this is deep down the rabbit hole, and I thought it would give a lot of attention on the issue of Chuggaaconroy, because this is some crazy ass stuff. So anyways, I'm sorry if I'm taking so long on this video, because yeah, this is like a 52-minute video, and I'm just gonna get out of here. I'll link it down below for you, because this is beyond crazy. This is like deep down the rabbit hole of Chuggaaconroy fans defending versus fans that are attacking Chuggaaconroy. So I'm out of here. Peace.